cry. I don't really should never lie. Should've saw the way she looked me in my eye. She said, baby, I am not afraid to die. Hey, push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey. Man, when that song came out, those were good times. That was like right when I started smoking weed. I mean, I was smoking weed like a year before that, but that's when I really started getting into weed. And me and my buddies would smoke up in my trap shed. Um, it was a trap shed. I mean, there's nothing else to call it because they were fucking selling drugs out there, fucking smoking all that weed. And yeah, that's when I really got into weed. And I was only like 16 then. That's the time I met my buddy Joel, who was shot to death. I posted that video on my other channel. He was shot to death in October of 2023. I still wonder how he was killed, like how he was shot to death. Like how did they kill him? Did they just shoot him with one in the head, or maybe one in his stomach, or did they shoot him like 5 times in the stomach? I don't know. They still don't even know who killed him. Like they haven't caught the guy yet. They think they know, but they haven't even caught the guy yet. It's fucked up. But yeah, that was around the time I met Joel, and fucking I had a native buddy, and I had, man, those were funny times. Those were also bad times. I'm not gonna get into why those were also bad times because that's personal, but it wasn't perfect those times. But I got lots of nostalgia for those times because I don't know, it was just so different. Like I went to many schools in my life, right? And that school I really fit in with everyone. Like I was friends with everyone in that school. Me and Joel. Like I dropped out in at the end of grade 10, but like I went to 12 schools in my 11 years, if you count kindergarten. My 11 years of school, I went to 12 different schools, so I went to a lot of schools, and I didn't get suspended, or I did get suspended a couple times, but I didn't get expelled. I just went to a lot of schools because I moved around a lot. But that was probably one of my favorite schools of them all, honestly. I'm not going to say which one, but it's the one where I met Joel, the guy who got shot to death. Um, yeah, that was one of my favorite schools, definitely. Shit's crazy. Uh, Man, and I was on so much drugs back then. I was doing so many drugs. Like holy shit! Like, I can't believe that fucking I lived through that with how many drugs I was doing. I mean, I wasn't doing too many dangerous drugs. I mean, the most dangerous drug I did was probably like DMT, and that's still like a psychedelic. It's not anything dangerous, but or not. No, I didn't do coke back then. I did coke a few years later. Um, but yeah, I'm just surprised that none of the shit was laced. Actually, there was one time I did a very serious drug, and I was trying to do Molly. I bought some Molly from this dude online. I took a picture of it. I snorted it and parachuted it, and this is when I was like 16. I don't do drugs anymore. I haven't even smoked weed in months. I don't do drugs anymore. But when I was 16, I did a fuck ton of drugs, and there was one time I did a serious drug, and it's because I thought I was doing Molly, which Molly on its own is pretty serious, but um, it wasn't Molly. I took a picture of it. I sent it to some of my friends, and I did it right. And then a couple hours later, they're like, "Dude, that's not Molly. That's meth." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I already did it. So like I've done meth before, and I didn't mean to, and I didn't get addicted to it. I didn't want it after. I hated that experience. It was like I can't even explain it. It sucked. I don't know how people get addicted to meth because if that was meth, it sucked. And if it was Molly, then it sucked. I don't know. Either meth or Molly, it sucks. I did not like that at all. Like, it really sucked. Like one moment you feel like super, super, super happy, like unbelievably happy. And then next moment you feel like incredibly depressed and like life is pointless. And it's like each minute it changes. Like you feel on top of the world one moment and then you feel like completely destroyed the next moment. Like, and it changes minute to minute. It's like being like extremely what's it called? What's that? Um, bipolar. It's like being extremely bipolar. Like I can't even explain it. It's like being bipolar, but bipolar is like each day your mood changes drastically. But this is like every minute. And I don't know what it was. It was either meth or Molly. I don't know what it was, but it was fucked. I did not like it at all. I don't know how people get addicted to that shit. But yeah, I don't do drugs anymore. That was like my experimental phase. When I was a teenager, I did a lot of crazy shit. Like a lot. I'm not just talking drugs. I mean like a bunch of crazy shit, like fights and like fucking bullying people and uh, having so many friends. And then some of my friends were super sketchy. Like obviously Joel was shot to death, so clearly I was hanging out with a bunch of sketchy people. And that's why once I turned 20, I stopped hanging out with pretty much everyone. I haven't had any friends since I was like 20. That's the main reason. They were all sketchy. Haven't done any serious drugs since I was 20. The serious drug besides weed was like cocaine, and that was like when I was 20. Haven't done that in years. Haven't done weed in months. Yeah, I'm done all of that shit. It's fucked. It's not worth it. Not at all. I'm not even talking about the money. I just mean like in general, it's not worth it. Fuck, and I did a whole bunch of mushrooms too when I was a teenager. Like a whole bunch of mushrooms. Like one time I drank a 2-6 and did 6 grams of mushrooms. And if you don't know mushrooms, 6 grams is a lot. Like it's not like weed. Even weed doing 6 grams in one sitting, that's obviously a lot. But like mushrooms, like holy fuck. Like you can get high off 1 gram. Like you can get pretty high off 1 gram. And I did 6 when I was like 16. Plus I did a 2-6 of vodka. It was crazy, man. And yeah, I hung out with my friend that day and he like ditched me in a back alley. And fuck, I could barely get home. I'm surprised they made it home that night because I was seeing so much shit. It was crazy, man. Yeah, I'm so glad I learned from all my lessons. I learned a lot of good lessons when I was young that a lot of people don't get to learn till their 30s and 40s, which is why, despite being a dropout, I'm so much more intelligent than so many people because I have so much more life experience than people who are even in their 40s. So like I can only be grateful for it. I don't look back on it and really regret it. I wouldn't do it again, but that's because I learned from it. But yeah, looking back on those times is such like a trip, like a drug trip, knowing that Joel's dead now. He was shot to death, and fucking how many drugs I was doing back then. Like it's so weird looking back on those times now. What was that, like 6 years ago? That wasn't even that long ago, but it feels like a lifetime ago. Honestly, like yeah. I did LSD. I actually kind of liked LSD. I only did it once, but LSD was pretty cool. Wouldn't do it again, but actually I might do it again like 10, 20 years you know, like when I'm already old. But yeah, while I'm in my 20s, I'm not doing any more drugs because I want to live at least another 20 years. I'm 22, I want to live to at least 42. And then after that, like I can do whatever I want. Really, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I want to live at least another 20 years. Obviously eat a lot of fast food, but fuck, that's a life choice. Like people over exaggerate how unhealthy fast food is, honestly, especially for me since I have a good metabolism. It doesn't affect me like it does other people. Like if other people, I know some people who are fat and eat healthy. So like if other people ate the way I did, they'd be like 400, 500 pounds, but fuck, I'm not even like 170, 180, and I work out too. So like a lot of my weight is muscle. But yeah. I mean, I'm starting to get a belly. I have the biggest belly I've had in my life, but compared to other people, I'm still skinny as fuck. Like I don't drink alcohol either, so I don't got a beer belly or anything like that because beer gets you pretty fat and shit. So I don't do any of that. I don't do anything like that. Man, I haven't for years. And cocaine was so overrated. I swear, it's like when you snort it, it's like you're doing drywall or like borax or whatever, because that's what they lace it. Usually it's only like 20% coke, and then it's like 80% borax or drywall. So when you snort it, it's like it smells weird, it tastes weird, and then it also I don't know, the high is weird. It's pretty much just like doing coffee. Honestly, like it doesn't it only feels like a bit more extreme than doing coffee. And I mean, you feel pretty numb. That's the difference. Is like on coffee, you just feel energetic, but on cocaine, you feel energetic and you feel like numb. Like you feel like nothing can hurt you. But I don't know, other than that, it's not much different than coffee, so I don't see the appeal to risking your life to snort cocaine and waste all that money because it's expensive too. It's like $80 a gram. So I don't get the appeal of cocaine or really any type of drugs. I mean, when you're a teenager, I get the appeal, but full grown adults doing drugs, like you're just a loser. Oh no, I'm gonna fall asleep here. Yep, fell asleep. Oh man, isn't that fun? I gotta get my coffee. Yeah, man, my buddy Joel, I don't know, man. I still think about that a lot. And me and him haven't talked since like 2018, but I don't know. It's still pretty sad because me and him never got to catch up on the shit we did as kids. But it seems like he was still living that lifestyle. It seems like he never grew up. I mean, he was living in a trailer park. He loved Trailer Park Boys when we were teenagers. I remember that. I was never really too into Trailer Park Boys. I thought it was funny, but it wasn't something too entertaining. But he loved Trailer Park Boys, and he was living in a trailer park. He was hanging around gang members and sketchy people. Like, I cut all that shit out. 2019, I moved up to Calgary. I stopped the Lil Blaisy shit. I was rapping in 2019 and shit. I stopped all of that. Stopped hanging out with a bunch of sketchy people and moved to Calgary for a few years. Um, and yeah, I stopped doing all of that shit and just cut everyone out from my old life. And now I'm out of Calgary too. But yeah, that's 2019, end of 2019, start of COVID. I cut all the sketchy people out of my life. I stopped rapping because that was fucking stupid. A white person rapping, I think that's pretty lame. Um, yeah, I did a lot of life changes when COVID first started. I'm glad I did that too, because fucking if I wouldn't have, I probably would have ended up like Joel or some of my other friends who overdosed on drugs. I either would have overdosed or I would have been stabbed or shot, any of that shit. And I cut all that sketchy shit out, and Joel didn't. I guess he was still doing that shit from when we were 16, 17. And I stopped that shit at 19, 20. I stopped all of that. And he was still doing it. I think he was selling drugs, he was hanging out with gang members. From what I could tell, that's the type of shit he was doing, and he was shot to death. Go figure. Like, if he wasn't shot to death, he probably would have overdosed. That seems what happens these days when you hang out with people like that and you hang out in those groups and you do that shit, you live that lifestyle, you either overdose or you get killed. Those are your two options, and neither of those sound too appealing. Now there was one time, I swear to God, I almost got killed back when I was 17, 18, hanging out with sketchy people. Swear to God, there's this one time where I nearly got killed. Actually, there was a couple times, but this one time was like the main time. And during that time, I was pretty depressed and shit. So I didn't, I didn't really care. That's why I was hanging out with those people. But um, yeah, I swear to God, there's this one time I was nearly murdered because I didn't back then. I didn't have any weapons on me. I didn't care. Like I was very ignorant to that shit. Like I didn't. I just thought I was invincible, and like every teenager does. But yeah, I didn't even have any weapons on me, and this dude did, and yeah, that's why I always have a weapon on me now. Like even in my place, like right next to me right now, I have a knife next to me, because I'm always ready in case someone like kicks my door, and I've had that happen before. My old buddy fucking left his. This is what I'm talking about. These sketchy people. This is why I stopped hanging out with them. Like, I had an old buddy that I used to rap with. You guys, if you knew my old Lil Blaisy songs, you might know him. He was in one of my songs. Fucking kicked my door in because he left his fucking laptop charger at my place the previous night, and like I was fucking sleeping. He was trying to buzz at my door, and I was like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna keep going to sleep. He was like calling my phone and shit, and then he started kicking my door. I'm like, what the fuck? Um, and he kicked my door down because he left his fucking $10 laptop charger, and I didn't charge him or anything because I'm not a bitch. I don't do that shit. Like, I've had people charge me for way less, and I just find that shit so pussy. Like, I've never charged anyone in my life. There's many points in my life where I could have charged people for doing crazy shit to me, and I just never did because I've never been a bitch like that. And I've had other people charge me for way less. That's like such a piss off because it's like, man, like I've had some people do some crazy shit to me, and I've never charged anyone, not in my life. I never would. Like it's such a bitch move. My beliefs are is that the only time you should actually get the police involved and charge someone is if like they raped you or sexually assaulted you or murdered you. Like serious shit, real shit. But like if someone calls you a bitch on the internet and says they're gonna kick your ass, you don't go to the police and cry, "Please, man, this guy said he's gonna hurt me." Oh, we're gonna be right on this right away. Fucking bitch. I've had people do that, I swear. Like I've been arrested for that like 5 different times by the same person, granted, but like still. Like I can't believe that you can get arrested for fucking messages. Yeah, fucking bitches, I swear, man. That's why I don't associate with fucking females at all anymore. They're all bitches, man. Really. I don't associate with anyone anymore besides family. And people online. I like to fuck with people online, but even that I cut out. I don't really associate with anyone online anymore either. Just family. It's all I associate with because like why associate with anyone else? You're just playing yourself if you do. Like really you are because everyone who is in your family member in this world is selfish and is only out for themselves. So like if you got a bunch of buddies and stuff and you're going to their place every day and like you're doing all this shit, they're just gonna use you. Like everyone is out for themselves unless they're family. So if you're associating with anyone who isn't family, you're just using yourself. I hope this is the last Team Star base because I don't like doing these Team Star bases. They're very repetitive and boring. This is not entertaining to me at all. This whole game isn't entertaining, honestly. I haven't had a single moment I've played this game and like been super entertained. Like on Skyrim, I'm like constantly entertained, but on this game, it's I never feel any entertainment. I'm not even saying that to like hate. It's just facts. I wonder if Pal World is any better. I gotta get that on my laptop when I get my charger back tomorrow. I haven't had my charger for over like yeah 3 weeks now. It's been since I had my laptop charger. So like I've been able to play my laptop, which really sucks. I had to play my Switch. Yeah, see, like if Joel would have had my philosophy on life and he would have just focused on money, no drugs, don't be selling drugs, don't be doing drugs. He would have just lived in his trailer, only associated with his family. He wouldn't have been shot to death. He wouldn't have been killed. Like, and that's what he should have done. And I'll always regret not reaching out to him because he was like one of my best friends from when we were teenagers. But I don't associate with anyone. That's why I never reached out to him. And I don't have any social media, so he could never reach out to me. Um, yeah, I'll always regret that we never talked again. But I mean, like, I was gonna reach out eventually, but like when we were in our 30s, like not, and eventually like reminisce and catch up a little bit. But I didn't expect him to get shot to death. But it's because he was hanging out with sketchy people, and I cut that shit out. Like I had sketchy when I first moved out, and I was 17. I had a bunch of sketchy people like come over to my place and live with me, and that's how like I almost got killed one time. Um, yeah, I had a bunch of sketchy people always coming over. I even let one of my friends live with me. He was supposed to pay rent after 2 months, and after 2 months of living with me, he just moved out and went back to his parents. It's like, yeah, of course, fucking bitch. Yeah, and that was my best friend since like childhood. Like we were friends even before kindergarten. We were friends. Me and this guy, we were friends because our moms were friends, and even he used me. So that just goes to show that like no matter what friend you make, they all use you. Um, yeah, like you can have the best friend ever, they're still gonna use you. I've had so many friends use me over the years, and I, I've been so much more happier since I cut all my friends out. Like, and that's why I'm really grateful that I'm not one of those people who relies on social interactions to thrive in life. I thrive on my own. Ever since I cut people out, my money has only gone up, my mood's only gone up. Like everything's only gone up since I cut people out. And it's only been like 2 years. Imagine like another 10 years. Like I'm gonna be so up. I'm gonna be so high up, so high above all these fucking losers, all these peasants. Honestly. I don't need nobody but my family. Really. I don't need any friends. I don't need any girlfriend. All these girls are nasty too. They're all biohazards. Seriously, they're all hoes. They're all sluts. They're biohazards, is what they are. And like they act like they're worth so much. Like I need a six-figure salary. I need a guy with a six pack. I need him to have all his shit figured out. I need him to do all this, all that, all this, all that. And it's like, bitch, you're like a 5 out of 10 at best, and your pussy fucking stinks. I'm not even saying that to be rude or mean. Like it does. Like it really does. All their pussy stinks. Like I fucked like I fucked like 10 or 11 bitches, and I not for a year, not for over a year. I haven't fucked any bitches because I'm done with that shit. I'm not an incel. I'm purposely celibate, which is the opposite of incel. I'm MG Tau. Um, I don't fuck with any of these bitches anymore because they all stink. They do. I mean, they might smell good on the surface because they put on some perfume, but underneath, they all fucking stink. Like, no joke. I swear to God. And they get so insecure about this. You can't say this to any girl, and I don't anymore, but I swear to God, they all fucking stink. Like, I can't even describe the smell. It smells like rubber. It smells like roadkill. It's gross. They all have that like same stench. Ugh, it's so gross. I don't even want to think about it, honestly. It's fucking nasty. And then they think like they're worth so much, and the only thing they bring to the table is that same thing that fucking stinks. That's the only thing they bring to the table. It's like, why do you deserve all my hard-earned money? Why do you deserve this energy that I built up for myself over years of being by myself? Like, why would I ever give you anything that I have? You don't deserve it. Not at all. I'm too good for you. You're not too good for me. You're just a stinky slut. Watch YouTube remove this live stream for hate speech. Probably will too. Yeah. I don't associate with nobody. All these niggas, all these dudes, they're fucking sketchy as shit. And all these women are sketchy too, but in a different way. These dudes will use you and kill you, and these women will use you and kill you mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So either you die physically by getting friends, or you die emotionally by getting a girlfriend. Hell no. Just stick to family. That's all you need. Yeah, I've seen all this shit coming for years. Man, I'm so much more intelligent than my peers. I always have been. Not book smart. I couldn't pay attention to shit that I find boring, so in school I could never pay attention. I only got like 60s and 70s on my fucking report cards, which isn't great. But I passed, but then I dropped out because I didn't see a point to school. Because the only point to finishing high school is to go to college, and I knew I wasn't going to go to college because I knew how pointless it was. I didn't want to go in debt to go to college, and all these restaurants and shit will still hire you without a high school diploma. So what was the point of going to high school? Literally just to go to college, and I wasn't going to college, so there's no point to a high school diploma. That's funny because like if you tell people that, like, oh well, I didn't plan on going to college, like, oh well, you should still get your high school diploma. That's what people used to say back then. It's like, why? I never needed it, and I'm doing better than those same people who used to say that. I'm doing way better than them, and I don't even fucking work. And even if I was working, I'd still be doing better than them because fuck, I make less money than I would if I was working at McDonald's like 5 days a week and shit. But I still make enough money to put money away because I don't have a vehicle. So I don't pay any insurance, I don't pay any loans, I don't go in credit card debt, I don't have any of this shit. I'm still doing better than these people who work full time and went to college and shit. Because they're stupid. Stupid. You're stupid. No, I'm not. Was 9 plus 10. 21? But yeah, I'm so much more intelligent than my peers. All these people are slaving away for the government. Meanwhile, the government works for me. I'm not even saying that, they do. I make the government work for me, and these people work for the government. And I got so much more money than them. I do so much better. I'm so much happier than these people. All these people are miserable as fuck, and they're all like, that's why they all like hate each other and want to kill each other and shit. They're all so miserable. Like when I was working my restaurant jobs, and I haven't in over 2 years. I've been retired for over 2 years now. I don't ever plan on working again, but when I was working, because there's a consistent 3 or 4 years when I was working consistently, and man, all those people were so depressed, so like angry all the time. Um, yeah, and like I can't even explain it. They were all just so unhappy. And like all these people went to college, all these people graduated, they did all this work. I didn't do any of that. I didn't have to. I realized how this society is and what is expected of you and what you actually need. And I just did what I needed. I didn't do what was expected of me. So So much smarter than these people. I'm not an NPC. I do what I need to, not what people expect of me. And that's why I'm so much more successful. That's why I'm so much more happy than all of these people. I love thinking about it. I love talking about it because, like, yeah, it just every time I think about it, it's just like makes me smile, makes me laugh. That like when I think back to these people and like there's people that I was working with in their 30s still working in these restaurants and they were so miserable and these same people went to college, they did all of this hard work and now they're working in a restaurant same as me who didn't even graduate, and I'm doing way better than I was even back then, but even back then I was doing better than these people who were in their 30s and 40s. Fucking losers. Fucking losers, man. Fucking NPCs. Keep working for the government so the government can pay me. You fucking losers. Uh, and these same people are the ones who wanted to give me advice back then. How ironic. So glad I never listened to any of them. Because if I would have listened to them, I would have ended up like them. Their advice meant nothing. Meant nothing. It meant less than nothing. Because if I would have listened to them, I would have been doing way worse than I am right now. So glad I didn't. I'm so glad. Like, and I worry about that I'm gonna, in my next life, I'm gonna get reincarnated as one of these people. I'm just gonna be another NPC. But I really hope my thinking is transferred through my soul and not through my brain. Because if it's in my brain, then my next physical body will probably think like an NPC. Because most, like 99% of people are NPCs. And I just hope my consciousness, my thinking when I die is transferred through my soul, my consciousness, you know, and not through my brain, because that would really suck if I get reincarnated as an NPC. Because all these people are so miserable, and that's like 80 years of misery and being an idiot who doesn't understand the world at all. And they say ignorance is bliss, but in some senses it is, but in other senses it's not, because all these people are very ignorant to how the world works, how life works, how economics works, all these things. They're all very ignorant, but yet they're all so depressed and hateful, and I don't know. It's funny, man. It really is. I don't want to name any names, but yeah, thinking back to all these people, I don't talk to any of them anymore. I still sometimes check on these people's like Facebook and shit, and they're still in the same shit. Like they may have changed jobs, but they're still in the restaurant industry. They're still doing all this loser shit, and it's like some of these people have been managers in these restaurants for like 20 years, and they're still broke as shit. They don't have a dollar to their name until they get paid, and then once they get paid, it all goes to paying back their debt and their rent and shit, you know. And these people have been managers for like 20 years. Like, god damn, if I was a manager for 20 years at a restaurant that gets like good tips and everything, fuck, I would be a multi-millionaire. These people don't have a dollar to their name until they get their fucking $2,000 paycheck every 2 weeks. Fucking losers. Losers. Oh, here's another Team Star base. I was hoping that the last one was the last Team Star base, but it seems like this is the last Team Star base. I hope so. I really hope so. This better be the last Team Star base, because I'm so done with these things. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna skip to Skyrim. I don't think I'm gonna keep playing this because this is pretty boring. Yeah, like let's see. Is this the last Team Star base? Okay, so there's this one. think it is the last Team Starbase, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, this is the last Team Starbase. I'm like 90% sure. Okay, good. It is. Okay. Go back to Skyrim because that shit sucks. Yeah, there's this one guy I worked with. Me and him were friends for about 2 years, a little under 2 years, because we worked together at a restaurant. And man, this guy at the time, he was like 28. And man, what man was this guy like ever a loser? I swear. I mean, now he would probably like 31 or 32. But yeah, back then he was like 28, and he spent all of his paychecks gambling. Yeah, he spent all of his paychecks gambling and on cocaine. And this dude was acting like he was still like 16, 17 when he was like 28, 29. Um, and yeah. And this guy would always get played by girls. Like he would always like lose a bunch of money and like give money to girls and shit. And they would like completely use him, and then I'd like ask him like, don't you know all these bitches are trifling? Like they're all using you. They're just playing you. And this dude was like, "Oh no, women are perfect. They would never do that." And he acted like women are like these innocent angels and stuff. And fuck this dude. And then like whenever I tried to tell him that like the women, like the nature of women and shit, and that like they're trying to use him, he would always like be like, "Oh, you're a pos, you're a piece of shit," because I was trying to help him and like tell him that like they're using him, and women aren't all innocent. they're actually like they're actually just as bad, if not worse, than most men, just in a different way. And like this guy could not accept that women weren't innocent angels. Like he was like a male feminist, I swear. But then he also thought he was like badass. He's like, yeah, my parents are part of the Hells Angels. They were gang members. My grandpa was part of the Hells Angels. Like, I'm like from a lineage of gang members. And he thought he was like so badass, but at the same time, he would always get like used by women. He would waste all his money gambling and on cocaine. And this dude was the manager too. He was one of the managers. There was like three managers, and he was one of the managers. And he would fucking, yeah, like he was dumb as fuck, man. I swear. He had no clue how dumb he was. Like, and his dumbness was wearing off on me because fucking, like he convinced me to get into that shit, and fucking, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but yeah, I started wasting money on gambling and women when I was around him, and I realized how pointless and how stupid it was because, man, these women were just some trifling hoes. They were disgusting and nasty, and this dude was just completely into it. Yeah, and such a loser, man. He was still living with his parents too, and he was like 28. He was a manager at a restaurant, working full time, still living with his fucking parents. And on Christmas, I went over to his house one time, and his rugs were fucking pitch black. And I asked him like, "Are they supposed to look like that?" And he's like, "Oh no, they used to be white." It's like, what the fuck? And they're like pitch black rugs. His place was so dirty, and his mattress didn't even have a bed sheet. And it was like a bunch of pop, and it was like this old ass disgusting mattress. And fucking yeah, and I was like, I told this dude, I was trying to be like nice, like, if you ever want a girlfriend, like, how are you gonna bring her over here? And he just like he did not care at all. His place was a fucking disgusting pigsty. And fucking that made me, because for a long time I thought like I mean, I was pretty dirty when I was a teenager. When I was 17, I first moved out. I was pretty dirty. I didn't like clean my kitchen or do dishes ever, but like, fuck, this guy made me look like a clean freak because he was so dirty. And I've gotten a lot better. Like I do all my dishes and shit now. Sometimes, I don't take the garbage out for a week. That's about the worst it gets. I gotta take the garbage out more often than I do, but that's about the worst it gets. But this dude, man, holy shit, like his place was dirty as fuck, and he was living with his dad, he was living with his grandpa, and then his dad had a band, and his dad's band had four other people that were living with him. Just a bunch of fucking losers, I swear to God. Like these people are some of the biggest losers I ever met. And yeah, I went over to his house one time, and his dad invited me to go see his band play at like this restaurant one night. So I went and saw his dad play, and it was a $20 admission. I was like, oh, I don't want to pay that. And then his dad's like, oh, don't worry, I'll give you the money back after. We get the money, we get paid. I was like, okay. And he didn't give him my money back. So I guess he was so down bad he needed $20 that bad, which is crazy. Which I didn't really care. It was just the principle of him saying like, "Oh, please come see my show. I promise I'll give you the money, the $20 admission back." And I was like, "Okay," because I didn't want to pay $20 to get in because the food at this restaurant was already super overpriced. And even when I fucking bought the food there, the chicken wings were undercooked. I got pink chicken wings, so I didn't even get to eat them. I paid like $50 for 16 chicken wings, and I paid a $20 admission, so I paid like $70 that night, and the chicken wings were pink, and Buddy didn't give me my $20 back, and I don't even care about the $20. It was just a fucking principle. I mean, I wiped my ass with $20, but yeah, it's just the principle, and like considering that this was my friend, like my manager, and he was my friend, and he was 28 years old. His dad was like in his 50s, and his dad was so down bad he didn't even have $20 to give me back, even though it was my $20. Oh my God, I can't believe how fucking like how down bad some people are. Like, man, life didn't treat some people too well, did it? Fuck, I had a hard life too, but that was no excuse for being a loser. Fucking I made sure I was gonna be successful, and for my age, I'm pretty damn successful. Yeah, these guys are in their 50s and they're still fucking losers. Crazy. How do you go through 50 years of your life and continue to be a loser? I don't get it. I really don't. Oh man, I got so many stories about these fucking losers. There's so many different losers I've met over the years, which is why I stopped working too. Another reason why I stopped working is because the people I used to have to hang around. And since I was so young, all these people thought they were above me, but then once I got to know them, I realized that they were actually way below me, and they're actually major losers. Because they always thought because of my age, at this time I was like 19 and all these people were in their 30s. So at this time, I thought, yeah, of course they're above me. They're older than me. They're wiser. They got more money. But that was definitely not the fact. They were way more dumb than me. They had no money, no prospects in life, and they were working in a kitchen for fucking 15 years, and they're still broke as shit. Like, how? I truly don't get it. How can you be such a loser? Like, where do you even put all your money? I know this one dude spent all his money on coke and gambling, but I don't know where some of these other people wasted all their money. Like, some of these people were really broke and they didn't have any kids. They didn't have any girlfriends, so I don't know where the fuck their money went. They were just broke as shit, just for the sake of being broke, because that's all they ever knew their whole life. They could never be successful or do anything with their life. They were just bound to live with their parents and be losers their whole life. It's funny how people do that, like, just because they're older, they think they know so much more, but they didn't. They really didn't. Like, fuck, I had to live on my own when I was 17 years old. These people are in their 30s, still live with their parents. Fuck, if I had that advantage, like if I was able to live with my parents till my 30s, holy shit. Like, I'm 22 now, and I would already be a millionaire if I had that advantage of living with my parents, because I fucking paid for like for years now. I've been paying thousands of dollars in rent. You know, I've been since I was 17. I'm 22, so for 5 years I've been paying thousands of dollars in rent. So like, let me just do the math real quick. Probably every year on average I spend about 12,000 on rent, which isn't a whole lot, but it's decent when you add it up and then the years that's went on. And most of that probably would have went to Bitcoin, and you know Bitcoin goes up. So year on year, I mean that's about 70,000 the past 5 years. I probably put to rent. Um, oh shit, this fire wizard keeps hitting me. But yeah, 70,000 the past 5 years, and then Bitcoin would probably bring that up to like 100,000. You know, so that's like an extra 100,000 I'd have in Bitcoin. But then also, like most of these people who live with their parents also don't pay for their food, which is another loser thing. They just fucking leech off their parents and fucking eat their food too. Just crazy to think. So I'd have even more than 100 grand. But yeah, it's whatever, because I wouldn't fucking, like, no matter who my parents were, I wouldn't want to fucking live with my parents in my 30s or even my 20s or even my teens. That's why I moved out, because if I was still living with my parents in my teens, I would have had to graduate high school, which was pointless, because there are NPCs too who for whatever reason don't know why, but say that you need to graduate. They can never give you a reason why. They just say graduate. Okay, why? Because you need it. Why do I need it? To get a job. Well, I can get a job without a high school graduation. Well, you want to go to college? No, I don't want to go to college. So, oh my god, I hate this fucking shit. Why can't I fucking move? Like, gotta let me move, man. Okay, I'll take, well, at least I'm getting this shit done. Fuck, that guy was so much stronger than he should have been. I swear. Oh, it's because it's daytime. I'm a vampire, so I'm really weak during the day. That's why he was so strong. Like, I think I'm on like half health right now. Yeah, see my health, my stamina, it's all down. Wait a minute. 2 perk points? Where did I get those? Okay. Um... No, I don't want that. 25. If wearing all heavy armor, head, chest, hands, feet. Oh, that's actually pretty useful, actually. I will get that. Oh, shit. Okay. Man, I got shit to do tomorrow. I gotta... Fuck, I got court. I gotta go to court tomorrow. And it's in Calgary. That's pretty far away from me now, from where I live. Because I moved. So I gotta go to Calgary tomorrow. I'm gonna get a hotel. Probably get a hotel with a swimming pool. Luckily, I got some family members in Calgary, so I'll go visit some family. Yeah, it's gonna fucking suck. I gotta do that tomorrow. But, I mean, I'll fucking be able to swim and shit. That'll be pretty cool. Get my laptop charger back as well. Talking Stone Camp. I'm kind of just exploring the world. I'm not doing anything too important here. Just kind of going around and exploring. Oh, let's see. Is there sometimes there's a magic place behind a waterfall. Let's see if they did that. Any magic place behind a waterfall here? No, I don't think so. You always gotta check in video games. It's a missed opportunity when they don't do it. Fuck you. This saber-toothed cat. I'm surprised with how much I've played the Switch OLED that I haven't got stick drift yet. It's crazy. Like I've put so many hours into this Switch. I've put fuck, like with YouTube and everything, I've probably put like 2,000 hours into this Switch. I mean, this is my profile. Doki Doki Literature Club. That's actually a pretty good game. Only put 5 hours into that. Minecraft, 120. 70 into Diablo, 150 into Skyrim, 200 into Pokemon Violet. That's crazy because that's not even a good game. 2,105 into YouTube, and that's just on my Switch. I watch YouTube the least amount on my Switch. I watch it more on my phone and laptop. Borderlands 2, 75. Pokemon Home, only an hour. 180, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Super Mario Odyssey 5. 65 on Let's Go Eevee. 30 on this game. I don't know how I put 30 on that game because that game sucks. 210 on Legends Arceus. Bioshock 2, 20 hours. Borderlands, 105. Sid Meier's, 35. 70, 20, 95, 420. Yeah. That wasn't me that playing the Fortnite. That was my little cousins. So that one wasn't me. I don't play Fortnite, much less on the Nintendo Switch. Yeah. I used to play Fortnite back in like 2017, 2018, but that was on PC. Damn, that's crazy to think Fortnite is that old now, eh? Fortnite in like 2 or 3 years is going to be 10 years old. That's crazy. Like Fortnite? Fucking Fortnite? Yeah, and Minecraft is like 14. Minecraft is older than Gen Alpha. Damn. Imagine having Minecraft being older than you. Imagine that. That's crazy. I should skip to nighttime because I'm really weak during the daytime. Yeah, if you're younger than Minecraft, you are a little ass kid. That is crazy. I can't believe. I mean, it makes sense, but I can't believe that like people that are younger than Minecraft are like 13 and 14 now. My birth year was '01. So when I die, my gravesite is going to say 2001 to 2069. Hopefully I make it to 2069 because that'd actually be a pretty long life. I don't expect to live that long, honestly, but I'm pretty healthy right now, so I don't know why, but I don't know.
I always thought I was gonna die young, but luckily I made it past that phase where I was doing drugs and all that shit. So I don't think I'll die young anymore. I gotta get up there somehow. I always thought survivor's guilt was such like a stupid thing. Like people just like had it to get sympathy and stuff until I actually felt survivor's guilt from my old friends dying. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of survivor's guilt, but it's definitely a real thing. I've felt it. I can't imagine watching like someone die in front of you then too. Man, my yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. I've had some crazy shit happen. Damn, that saber cat went flying. I can't wait to get my laptop charger back. Cause fuck my laptop is so much better than the Nintendo Switch. Like my laptop is fucking fast. I was so surprised when I got my laptop because back in like 2014 I got a laptop and it was like $800. It wasn't a cheap laptop and fuck back then laptops sucked. Like my $800 laptop back then was nowhere near as fast as my Xbox One when I first got that. Um, but yeah, I only paid like $1,200 for the laptop I have now, like 5, 6 months ago, and this laptop is faster than the PS5 and the new Xbox Series X or whatever it's called. I don't know. The Xbox One X. Um, yeah, my laptop is way faster than those. And it was only $1,200. That's crazy because, I mean, it comes with a screen, it comes with a touchpad, a keyboard, a webcam, a microphone. So it's actually a pretty good price when you put it all together, and it's way faster than the PS5 and Xbox One. It also comes with a battery, so you can take it on the go, you know? Like, you can't do that with an Xbox. So yeah, it was actually a really good deal, despite it being $1,200. I think lots of people underrate how good laptops are. I know I sure did before I got a good laptop. I thought you needed a gaming PC to play like AAA games, but you don't. Not at all. I can play any game that came out today on max settings, even Cyberpunk, on my laptop. So yeah. This is a new location. I've never been here yet. I mean, it's kind of a good thing I left my laptop charger at my family member's house because I haven't. When I got my laptop, I completely stopped using this Switch OLED, and I bought this Switch OLED like a month before I got my laptop. I paid like almost $500 for it, um, and then I got my laptop a month later, and I wasn't using this at all. So it's kind of a good thing I left that laptop charger at my family members because I stopped using this Switch for a while, and I kind of regretted buying it because it was a waste of $500. But I'm getting my use out of it now. Yeah, most of those hours that I showed earlier in the stream for my games are from my Switch Lite. They're not from the Switch OLED.
Man, I hate how much damage these people are doing because I'm a really high level. They should not be able to do this much damage. Like, I should be way above these fools, but I think what they do in Skyrim is they level the NPCs up around you. So whatever level you are will increase the NPCs' levels. Whoa, what the fuck? That thing is kind of creepy. Oh, that trap just hit me. Damn. See, this is what activates the trap. You step on this. I don't know how it reactivates itself, though. That's crazy. Usually those are one-time traps. Oh, damn. Yeah, always read the books in this game because they level you up. Man. I'm 22, but lately I've been getting a lot of thoughts that I'm getting really old, and it sucks. Like, I'm starting to know, like, a lot of things that adults used to tell me when I was a kid, I'm starting to understand. It really sucks. Like, 22 is young, but fuck, like, it's young, but it's also to the point where it's like in a couple years I am gonna be old. Like in 8 years I'm gonna be 30. And I know some people consider 30 still young, but it's not. Like 30 is old. Like, as people say 30 is young because lots of people think that people don't die until old age, but most people die before old age. They die from cancer, overdose. You know, there's so many ways to die. Car accident, you know, there's so many ways to die. And that's why 30 is old. It's because, like, you're most likely not going to make it to 60. So you're already over half your life, which means you're middle age, and middle age is old. And in 8 years, I'll be 30. It's like I'm starting to feel old. It sucks. It really does. But you know, the way I make myself feel better is by looking at people like older than me, like, for example, Bill Nye. When I was like 8 years old watching Bill Nye in science class, he was in like his 30s or 40s or whatever, and fucking Bill Nye is still kicking it. Bill Nye the science guy, he's still kicking it. And I mean, he was in his 30s when I was like 8, and he's still kicking it. So I mean, if you're like Bill Nye, you could live a long time. Bill Nye the science guy. Does anybody know who that is, or is that just like my school that used to play that shit? Bill Nye the science guy. Bill. Oh man, that shit was so dumb, but fuck, we had to watch that. And hey, it was better than like the regular curriculum, because the regular shit was boring. Coin purse. Okay, I'm getting out of here now. Been to Skyrim. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill. Yeah. I'm not the only one who remembers Bill Nye the Science Guy. Oh, that shit was awesome, man. Back in science class, fucking, it was way better than when the teacher would talk. And that guy's still alive, I'm pretty sure. So, like, man, if you ever feel like you're getting old, just remember Bill Nye the Science Guy is still alive. And fucking, I figured out Madonna the other day is 65 and she's still doing concerts. Like 65 years old and she's still doing concerts. So, I mean, maybe 30 years old is kind of young because Madonna is 65. She's over double 30 and she's still doing concerts and shit. Granted, she fell down or something. So, she's not doing too well, but I mean, look at Biden. He's the president. Fucking buddy's like 80 years old. But then again, most people don't make it to that age. Oh, there's like a thief. Oh, they killed him. Oh, damn. Check up on my daughters, see how they're doing. Make sure they're not dead or anything. I've been a bad mother to my daughters. See how they're doing. Why are you in here? Get the fuck out of my house. She got me a present. Dragon's tongue added. Oh, wait, that's my pet. My daughters don't even care about my creepy manic Electra nymph. Damn, is this thing ever creepy looking. It's kind of cool looking though too, because it like glows. Let's see how my daughters are doing. Oh, there's a bunch of letters. There's a bunch of letters down here. What are you girls doing? Okay, you're sleeping. You're going to sleep. Alright. Interesting. Well, at least you're still alive. Serena, get out of my way. Get out of my way. Get. Oh my god. Serena. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on, get out of my way. There we go. I made my character pretty hot, but she doesn't look as hot because now she's a vampire, so her eyes look all weird because she's a vampire. I mean, she's a vampire too, but she looks hot, Serena. But like my character, wait, I gotta take my helmet off. My character doesn't look as hot. I always like making my characters hot girls because it's much more pleasing to look at. Hey, wait, why can't it turn? Wait, why is it my, oh, it's because I gotta put my thing away. Yeah, that's my character. She was hot, but then her eyes got all fucked up. I mean, like, one of her eyes is, like, whitish, and then the other one is a vampire eye. So she was hot, but then she kind of, and she looks, her cheekbones are fucked up. She looks, like, really frail and skinny, you know? So, yeah. But she was pretty hot. Still kind of is, but she's like a 5 out of 10 now. Whereas Serena, man, Serena's like a 8 out of 10, maybe like even a 9. Hell, yeah, she fine. And this thing is like a 10 out of 10 looks wise. I would fuck this right away. Oh yeah, give me that ass. No, that thing's a 0 out of 10, 100%. But yeah, I'm gonna watch some YouTube. I'm done with this game for the night. Oh, thanks for subscribing, Bobby Hill. Yo, from King of the Hill.